do, what it 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 do. Should play upon the Ziggy2x. Back at it again. Brand new day, brand new video. Same old silly hoes. Just playing. October 20th. Monday fun day. I'm not gonna lie to you. This pimple right here been whooping my ass. I'm talking about I've been having headaches because of this motherfucker. And it's a big juicy bitch and it just will not put a head on it so I can pop that motherfucker. I'm just sitting around over here with a fucking horn growing out of my head. Shit's crazy as fuck. Look, I was about to say it's too bright in here. My bedroom light's on still. That's all it takes for me to feel like it's just too bright up in this bitch. Bedroom light on. Closet light on. Sheesh. Just living like a savage. Like I just got all the bread in the world, don't I? But anywho. Probably gonna have to restart this whole damn computer soon, man, cause what the fuck? I mean, it look good, but had me zoomed out for a reason. More ambiance. More macaroni. Okay. Yeah, we in this bitch. I don't look so massive. The fucking pimple isn't just like coming straight to your fucking face. Cause dog. But anyways, we up in here, man. I actually got a video on black fatigue, but we're gonna get through these hard hitters that's on the title first. These hard hitters are hard hitting. Not gonna lie. Stuff this came across my timeline and I was like, wait, what? What happened here? What are you talking about? So, yeah, we're gonna see what's going on out of here. We're gonna go on and get into it. We ain't finna be holding you back, holding you down. We're gonna go on and get straight to the nonsense and chaos. All right, let's go on and get into it. No questions asked, bro. And I guarantee it's gonna be an ad straight after muscle. You know how they do me. You know how they do me. Don't act like you don't do me like that. What we're gonna do is pretty soon we're definitely gonna get the premium version of YouTube. Jesus. Look, I'm probably gonna go silent for a second, man. I'm about to reboot
you've truly
my.
been loved?
No.
In 2001, J-Lo was dealing with Diddy. That's right, that Diddy that's in prison right now. But she decided that Diddy was too much. I guess too much of the cheek clapping parties was going down.
Woo!
But in 2002, Jennifer Lopez would meet the love of her life, Ben Affleck. The relationship was going well until things got called off in January 2004. They was about to get married, but Ben Affleck got dumped. But guess what? Jennifer Lopez wasn't single for long. In 2004, she would start dating Mark Anthony, and she would be married a few months after the Ben breakup. But then you already know what happened. She would leave Mark Anthony as too.
Damn!
Then came Casper Smart from 2011 to 2016, Drake from 2016 to 2017, and then Alex Rodriguez for 2017 to 2021 until They broke up. And then, but stopped the show. Ben Affleck would come back around. On July 6, 2022, they would get married until August 2024, they would break up.
Woo!
Fast forward. That brings us to October 15, 2025, when Jennifer Lopez pulled up to the Howard Stern podcast. And well,
Do you think you've truly been loved?
No.
No. And do you think you really have experienced loving someone?
Yes.
You have.
Yeah.
And when you can't get that love back,
What I learned, it's not that I'm not lovable, it's that they're not capable.
Jennifer Lopez said something very interesting, that she's loved men before, but they've never loved her. But wait, there's more.
It's that they're not capable.
they can't love.
They don't have it in them.
They
They
have not-
need to appreciate the little person inside of
They
them.
have little
need to
to
love
give.
them. Yeah.
You've been in a relationship with
And
people.
they gave me what they had.
Right, but
They
it's
gave
not
me
enough.
all of it. Every time.
But it's this much. It's
All the
little bit.
rings, all the things I could ever want.
Right.
They tried to give me the houses, the rings, the marriage, all of it. But
They didn't love you
they didn't,
and didn't know you.
and I didn't love myself.
Right.
Now she's saying that they didn't
Okay.
love her,
Yeah, my shit
and
back.
she didn't love herself, and they didn't have that much to give. This is interesting because you've been married over 5
What up,
times.
Liam?
You have all of these boyfriends
How you doing
in
today,
between,
man?
and all of a sudden it's all of these guys' fault. Now listen,
Having a
you
little
don't
bit of
really
technical
hear Ben
issues,
Affleck
but we here though.
talking about the relationship or the problems in the relationship. But some people came to his defense after her interview.
I saw the documentary, The Greatest Love Story, whatever. And at one point, Jennifer says,
land
Ben
not
is
so
not comfortable
down
being my
under.
muse. And that moment was her identifying
How those
the
things out that
boundary.
way, man.
And then she said,
On the other
but I'm
side
going
of
to
the
do it
world.
anyway. He loves me and he knows he can't stop me. That was her pushing past your boundary and misinterpreting your boundary, because she believed if he really loves me, he'll let me do my artistic expression. Instead of framing it as, if I really loved him, maybe I can recognize that not everything needs to be public, and I can respect the fact that my partner has a need for privacy.
Now, this lady talks about a documentary in which she saw concerning their relationship, and she refers to Ben Affleck as her muse, but she just disregarded whatever he wanted. Now, if you guys don't know, Ben Affleck is not the kind of person that wants to be in the spotlight, and that's kind of why they broke up, because Jennifer Lopez is more outgoing and she's high profile. Affleck is more private, reserved, and all of that, right? He doesn't like really being out in the spotlight, despite being very, very famous. But she completely ignored her partner's decision. And still, that brings up this point.
But what I am saying to you ladies is the lack of accountability in women is like kryptonite. It's kind of scary, low key, because how can you be so delusional and unself-aware?
Oh.
Let's be for real.
The lady says that many women who have no accountability have no awareness or no self-awareness. Now, let me kind of talk about this. This could be exhibited in both men and women, but clearly in this case, we're talking about Jennifer Lopez. And a lot of times, some people are just in their own world. They have no real ability to see what somebody else wants for them in a business relationship or a friendship or in a real-time relationship. It's almost like in order for a person to deal with that individual, everybody else has to suffer. Like, press 1 in the comment section if you've ever had to deal with this. Have you ever been in a friendship or in a relationship where you literally had to die and that person had to be happy and you conceded to that because you wanted to really be with that person?
Oh, yeah.
But that person was completely unaware or just didn't care
That's
about
how I
your
was living
feelings,
in my
about
last,
your wants or your needs or your desires.
In
And then,
my engagement.
obviously the relationship has to
It was
end,
ugly.
but that is because the mate that you were dealing with never learned to see things your way. And this could even be a problem for the most compatible, giving, loving person in the world. It just sucks, right? It sucks to have a business partner or a partner in friendship or relationships or whatever, and they just have no way of compromise. And here's the reason why.
Like I said, then you have family members co-signing on your buffoonery. You have family members co-signing on your ignorance. That's not okay. At some point, you have to look in the mirror and say, what role did I play in this playing out in my life?
One of the problems that I see with, successful people or even single people is that we tend to have echo chambers, all right? And, people who give us advice, and I would even say people like Chris Brown, Diddy, they go through this too. And this really means that these particular people just, everybody is just telling them what they want to hear and not what they need to hear for fear of, being cut off or being fired, especially if you're rich like Jennifer Lopez. It's probably really hard for Jennifer Lopez to really share her feelings with people that genuinely care about her. And this happens when you start to be very successful and start having money. It may be difficult for somebody to really tell it to you as it is. And if, you do tell somebody, like, hey, you need to change this, you may be fearful that that person may cut you off from a position and all this. So you tend to be an amen corner for that person. And obviously with male friends or female friends, you have an issue with a boyfriend or a girlfriend. We could tend to be completely harsh on that individual, obviously discounting the effect that our friend or brother or son is doing in the relationship and basically not holding them accountable. So every bad mistake that they make, they're justified. And it happens with men and women too. And just imagine if you're Jennifer Lopez and you have the world literally in the palm of your hands where anybody jumps, when they want you to, you will just continue on with the buffoonery. But this guy really said it the best.
The issue that we have with modern women is when they get into that boss babe energy, they don't know how to turn that off when they come home. The biblical order states that it is Christ at the top, then it is the man who is the head of the household. Then after that, it is the woman who is supposed to be soft, feminine, submissive, and more importantly, help the man grow in every single area. She is our helpmate.
Now, shout out to this guy. He's a Christian, and he's talking about, that a lot of women who are boss chicks, they tend to keep that same energy, but when they get home, they don't become the helpmate in the relationship. And if you believe in God, the Bible never says, well, if you make so much more over the man, you can't be submissive to him. And this works also for men too. Men who are going out in the industry, you work all day, you busting your behind. When you come home, if you have a wife, you have a girlfriend, you are a servant. A part of being a man is serving your family, serving your wife. You got to get out in the middle of the day, stop the show. You know how women on the period be?
He's right,
y'all be hella mean sometimes. Brothers can't even really talk to you. We got to slide the food underneath the door and all that. Oh. We got to be embarrassed going to get tampons. We go buy the wrong tampons and all this stuff. And so it's not going to matter that, in the office as a man, we're making a whole bunch of money and we're a boss dude. There's going to come a time if we're in a relationship with a woman that we need to compromise a lot, right?
Almost got me. Oh, that was quick.
A lot of women, when they become very successful, have a hard time understanding this as much, right? Because it's an anomaly to be as successful as Jennifer Lopez and then have to turn that down because that sort of mentality is why you've gotten so successful in the first place and doing things on your own timeline. And if a man is not fitting into that, that man eventually has to go. And the problem is this.
But she also seems like a handful. And let's just be raw and real. No man in history who is truly in his masculine energy, healthy masculine energy, wants to come home to a combative woman. We don't want to battle to see who is going to be leading the relationship.
As the guy said, that no man that is in his masculine element is going to just deal with that. Now, I'm gonna be honest. Jennifer Lopez has done a wonderful job, you know, up until almost her 60s, still been able to get high quality men.
60s.
I mean, A-Rod and,
Jesus.
you know, Ben Affleck. Most women after 40 would not be able to do what Jennifer Lopez is doing. And so she's an anomaly. But the reality is that what you make and how much you have as a person doesn't really equate that you have to give something to relationships. And that's something that I've had to figure out over the last, 10 years, right? I've had to really, really grow. And life is not always about what you want, but also what somebody else wants. We can look at all the companies that we love. Apple, that's probably one of the best ones, right? Many of you guys on your iPhone, you have iPad, you have the MacBook, and any other Apple product that comes out. And we love Apple not because of its integration between products, but because of, you know, the customer service, how valuable the products are, and Apple's willingness and dedication to find out what consumers want and to keep consumers happy. And we really don't mind paying the price. I mean, you know, you have people here in Uganda that don't even make $1,000 or $2,000 a year, and you will find so many people with the brand new iPhones and just expensive. Because why? It's because Apple gives you that level of quality because they consider the customer. Apple's all about the customer, okay? And that's why Apple is what it is. On the flip side, a lot of us are not about the other person, and I get it. It can be hard being about somebody else because you can invest in that person and then that person can leave. But if you're not going to be all about the person, and I get it, you have to at least, at the minimum, be concerned about what makes them happy. Be concerned about trying to work it out. Be concerned about what makes them go or tick and all of that. And if you can't do that, you're always going from mate to mate to mate. Like, you know, I have this friend of mine who's a chronic business owner. He has like a different business idea all the time. Like, I've been in this business on YouTube for about like 10 years, and like almost every week he has a new business. He has like maybe 30 business ideas over that same period of time. And all those ventures have probably failed by now because he's never concerned about what the customer wants. He's only concerned with the industry that makes him a lot of money. And of course, he continues to start from 0, 0, 0, 0, 0 every time. Right. And this is the same with people in relationships. Like, there's going to come a time where you just have to be concerned about what somebody wants if you want to be in a relationship with them. And then you can't blame your failures on the other person as if you're not the same person that is in 5 different marriages, as if you're not the common denominator. And this is the problem that many men have when they see women talking like this, because it's delusional. It's delusional for a person to be in 5 marriages and then say, well, they didn't love me. And number one, I didn't love myself. Every woman talks about that. Jeannie Mai, self-love. J-Lo, self-love. Tia Mowry, self-love. Somehow you forgot to love yourself when all you have been doing is loving yourself. Like, that's the problem.
Exactly.
You love yourself so much that you don't love anybody else. Woo! And until you learn to actually care about what somebody else wants, you're going to have that same issue. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy Ziggy2x and back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. I appreciate you for all that you do. Subscribe to the bell. We're out.
Style starts.
Oop. It's gonna be a rough video here, man.
Which female celebrity do you think is the biggest
What's that girl name? That Sukihana.
Sukihana?
Yeah. I think she the biggest mother.
Is there anything else you need to say?
I mean, I just wish that I could have had more fun with you and spent more time with you. Like, can we go to a restaurant and really get some more food?
Yeah.
You looking for a freak
or a trick? What we looking for? We looking for the trick. I'm the freak. I'm looking for a trick.
For me, I ain't never seen me no cash out.
It's the queen, I'm on your man. Sukihana, that's my name. Best cookie in the game. I can suck you like Lang Lang. I need a treat. Yeah, spending money. I put this good.
Yep. Well, I'm pretty sure I'm just gonna get demonetized on this damn video.
I heard you looking for a freak. I heard you looking for a freak. He spent money to my
Yeah, pretty 90% sure. Because goddamn, nigga,
bills for the
how much of the video is you gonna play?
I told her that I start paying her bills, and she like then she stopped hitting me. All right. I was paying her, all of them. She had a cool overhead. It wasn't even that crazy. Like Suki's overhead was probably like 76,000 a month.
I'm nasty, disgusting. He tricking off and I'm fucking. Bend it over, put your.
Yeah. I mean, she's putting it on Front Street.
I know that's your homegirl.
Yeah. She put it on Front Street.
But she's a
like,
she might tell you
I think self-admittedly though.
Right. Yeah, but I would listen. I buy all the time. I'm not buying that one. I'm not buying
that one. Okay, so we need a list, bro. Yeah. Top female rappers that are using their leverage as rappers to get money.
All right. Well,
top 5. Sweetie?
Well, yeah. You mentioned Sweetie. You mentioned Mello. You mentioned Ruby.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I don't think niggas is buying this nasty, but Sukihana sell mad. She literally sell it to the niggas in Broward County that's in front of the liquor store, like type. I'm dead ass. And she be lying. I know plenty of delivery boys that that.
Delivery boys?
Delivery boys.
Damn. I mean, she look like she do though. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't understand what.
I'm gonna just go to the gas station and sit in my car for about 45 minutes to gather my thoughts. And I was just like, this was back in the day, I would have been sucking 45 minutes. A whole nother, not even his. And I was like, oh, okay. So you can turn a wife into a slave. What the wife into a slave? A housewife into a hoe into a housewife. You could turn a hoe into a housewife. Look at me.
I don't think it's a surprise to anybody that Sukihana's been selling that kitty that punky. Now this is all allegedly coming from Tekashi 6ix9ine's mouth himself. You can believe him or not, but we already know that his testimony has gotten multiple people locked up. Now is it really a stretch to be saying that Suki's been stretched out and been selling that nanny? It's just that the real story that it all tells is not only the Ruby Roses and the Saweeties are selling themselves out here on the open market, but today's modern woman in this hot contested dating market is seeing the trend where they find themselves dropping down to both knees, looking up-throated, and submitting themselves to the modern man. And all it's gonna cost you is about 10 20s. For that ass.
It is 2025, October. By 2027, did you ever see Tom and Jerry where the cat grabbed a garbage can lid and was going in the garbage can, picking up stuff, making him a dinner, putting it on the garbage can lid?
Right.
By 2027, the way our president Donald Trump is structuring this nation, average bitch gonna cost $200.
Damn.
All this going to court for alimony and all that, it's finna be over. Donald Trump saw the women try to get old girl Kamala Harris in office. That's who ran last year, right? There it is. That's how you're gonna be able to get big. straight out the garbage can, pick them up like this. I'm telling you, it is over for the women. You're going to be able to walk up to a girl and be
crazy.
like, you want this 200 or what? And they're going to be like, yes. Because it's bad out here.
Oh, hell.
It's bad out here.
How y'all doing over there in YouTube, man?
These men too, but it's mainly the talk about
Welcome
what
to
they
the
don't
stream.
need, right?
Welcome to the stream.
So your man wanted you to stop stripping for him.
Right. He met me in a strip club.
Don't you think it's fair for you to sacrifice some things if you want to commit to a man?
I don't think so, because if he can't pay all my bills and take care of what else I got going on, and then no.
Would you want him to pay for all your bills before you marry him?
I didn't marry him.
Well, how you going to get to that point if you're not going to show the sacrifice?
You ain't paying, you ain't getting, it's over with. One thing about it, two things for sure. I suck a good booty. I know how to cook a little bit, about this much. Say what the Lord said. A man is the provider.
They say what they don't need. They are taking these cars that they had notes for back to the car lot in Groves. They are telling the car manufacturers, come get this car because I ain't going to be able to pay
What's going
it.
on YouTube, folks, man? Hit that like and that comment button, man. I know I got comments turned on. I haven't had them for a minute. My bad.
People were asking me what kind of car I
We
have.
back in the game now. I just noticed that wouldn't work.
This is the inside of my girl. She's a 2024 Jeep Wrangler.
Dog. 2024 Jeep Wrangler paying $1,000 a month with a
Is
cracked
insane.
windshield is absolutely diabolical.
Insane.
Proceed.
1,000 beans.
This touchscreen is bigger than every other Jeep. My roof also goes all the way back. Like all the way back.
For $1,000 per month, your sunroof better transform into a robot and go sell its ass to go give you some more money or something. Have some type of other benefit besides letting the sun in. You could just get out your car and have the sun hit you. That's not worth the $1,000, baby girl.
Like all
Baby
the way
girl.
back. And most Jeeps don't do that. And this is what she looks like on the outside.
It's a nice car.
But the gag is, my car note should have been $700. I just had a terrible car salesman who took advantage of me. So
They didn't take advantage of
You
you.
signed
No,
your name on
shut
the
up.
dotted line. That's called accountability, baby girl. Did he take advantage of you, or they got you in there at one price and then they ran your credit, found out that you don't pay back, thus meaning that you have a low-ass credit score and the APR went up, but he took advantage of you,
Thank you. Thank you.
Got it.
You can take advantage of shit.
So if you're wondering why I started doing the blue page, making the little hot content, it's because I need to afford the lifestyle that I live.
Oh.
My car note is $100 and
Wait a minute, I didn't know. Oh, talk about a plot twist. So, sounds as if she has a spicy content website unto which she shows us the insides of her glands in order to afford a car
Ears
with
itching.
a sunroof that she
Right
keeps
back.
messy with a cracked window. This is absolutely...
I'm trying to tell you, everybody who had to pay a in the past, you got a year at most left before you're able to pick just like grass at the lagoon.
Grass at the lagoon.
Over. It's over.
I figured that
Federal
much.
government telling states
getting
not
pretty.
to send out November SNAP benefits. Here's the email I just got from the USDA. So here's the letter
Oh,
that
you
the
finna get
USDA
fired.
sent us. Let's look at the second paragraph. We are forced to direct states to hold their November issuance.
Ladies, gentlemen, and polite savages, we are now about to embark on a journey sure to anger feminists and modern women alike. Embrace yourself. This one's a doozy.
We already know that Suki isn't saying that she's got that good coochie. She loudly proclaims that she is the #1 hoochie, dropping massive hints that it's all for sale, without 1 ounce of shame. But with this new economy and her influence waning, well, just recently we've been hearing the tune has been changing.
Hey y'all, so I'm about to go on a date with this hardworking man, a 9-to-5 man who's a real gentleman, and guess where he's taking me? He's taking me to Longhorn. And I'm going. A lot of y'all hoes be wanting to fine dine and go out and get a fancy schmancy, and that does not equal the food that you require. Half y'all can't cook. But anyway, hopefully this Longhorn make me want to suck a long.
Oh.
You ain't gonna fuck with it.
Cartoon character, man.
No city girl.
Go on and get up out of here, man.
And your man wanna come to the
Now, I
Olive
don't know
Garden.
about y'all, but
She
I
said
gotta
she
say
getting
this
hit
is a
off the
recession
Olive Garden
indicator,
food.
where the lifestyle
Yeah,
she used to
man,
demand
okay.
is circling down the drain.
She finna let him. She
and
finna let
things
him
are
smack
changing,
off the Olive
as now
Garden.
she's proclaiming that she needs a man instead of being catered. Now she's flipped the script and telling other women they've got to cater to their men.
This president is making sure all them that was against him are not in a financial situation to turn down nothing. Just I'm gonna have to learn how to cook, have my dinner ready. All of the old ways are coming back because they're not gonna have nothing. And this ain't just me talking. What job
He said the
is
double
out
back is about to
there
be crazy.
for a woman to go house shopping after she get the job?
Shit, they just fired 4,000 women
No, not
in
even
D.C. You know,
That ain't nothing. It's a lot of
yeah,
fun.
the days of the successful black VP female, that shit over with. All them that was making $500,000, 400,000. It's
35,000.
Everywhere you look in the United States right now, people are struggling. Families are losing their homes. Car notes are being reported as late more than any time in history. Good people are losing their jobs. As I stated, over 121,000 of them are black women that have lost their jobs.
No, because like it's really getting to a
cooling
point.
right
It's really getting to a point. Every time you leave your house, $50. Pay, buy, purchase, payment.
The only thing I'm struggling with is putting my shit back in my pants after I
You
piss.
look up, you out of toothpaste. The next day you go get toothpaste, you out of soap. You go buy soap, now you out of deodorant. You looked at your gas tank and you on.
Okay, see that sounds like some shit that like you could prevent. Like, I buy toiletries and household needs in bulk. Like I go get the 24 pack of toilet paper. I get the double pack of toothpaste. Soap. I get the big ass economy bottles. Like, you can, when you got some extra bread, just go broke on shit that you know you're gonna need anyways. Like, that sounds like a personal issue. You just not getting your finances together. You fucked up. Ain't nothing wrong with being fucked up.
We have 5 miles left. The first is Monday. The first is Monday. It was just the first. It was just the first.
Yeah. I
need a
don't see what
cigarette.
you're saying.
I need a cigarette. I need God himself to come down and hand me 30 bands right
What's the
now.
problem?
Like this life. And then
But you chose the stuff that you pick, that you're trying
do all
to.
of this when I become the adult. When I'm a grown up. Because I could have sworn back when I was 12, my mama was buying houses for $6. Like, grandma them paid 50 cents for their house, their down payment. Like, I
You can
can't
do
even
it too.
live with roommates.
You just got to do it.
for
You got to do some research.
rent $1,000.
There is such thing as down payment assistance. There's also like Rocket Mortgage. There's tests and classes that you can take through your actual mortgage lender before you get accepted or approved, and they'll actually just like knock off thousands of dollars on your down payment, like dead ass. It'll be considered a credit. I can't remember exactly how many I did, but I mean, it was like every 10 little courses or whatever, it takes off like $1,000. Did like 15 of them motherfuckers. Like, what else you got to do? If you saving bread to get into a house, man, why not just go on and do all the courses you can and take all the credit that you can so you can get what you want? I guarantee you're underemployed for whatever kind of SUV you got right there.
Gas,
You
$50.
probably got kids.
Every time you pass by a gas station, look at the price of the gas. $3. $3? Is this California? you what.
$3 ain't bad. You wasn't driving around when that shit was $5.30.
As you can tell,
you can tell she wasn't driving around when the gas was $5.30 back in 2012. That motherfucking shit was $4 and $5 a gallon. I'm happy as hell, and I got premium. That 350, 360 don't sound bad at all to me. I mean, it sucks because when I was growing up and when I first got my car, my first car, my Chevy, gas was 97 cents. But I mean, shit, compared to that $5 I was paying during 2012 and 2010, shit. Ain't bad at all to me.
Rough out here, where there's many modern women have been losing their career, and I fear it's going to get worse, where they might have to resort to the oldest profession and be hiking them skirts up, as the fastest way for them to earn any kind of a cut is to get an above average earner to be jumping up in their guts.
This is the first month I won't be able to afford rent. I'm not a rich person. I don't have a lot of stuff. I have basic household necessities, a couch, a bed, washer, a dryer. That's about it. A car.
What else do you need?
I don't have a lot of lavish things. I don't go on vacations, and I don't spend a lot. Rent's increased from $1,300 to $1,800. The food prices are too high. I've cut back on eating because I literally cannot afford food. I've cut back on my snacks,
you put yourself in a situation where that's the life that you're living.
I'm exhausted all the time for being overworked and underpaid. You don't catch a break when you grow up poor. I don't.
See, you feel like you're overworked and underpaid because you put yourself in a situation where everything is expensive as shit to you. If you were living within your means, then you would feel like whatever work that you was doing would probably either suck and you just don't like the job, or you know, it's okay because it's getting the job done. Like, I mean, I don't understand what they got going on. I mean, literally, I am not the most paid person in the world. I own my car. I pay mortgage for this place. This is a pretty nice 1,000 square foot condo in the middle of downtown. I don't make anywhere close. I can't say any. I don't make anything anywhere close to $100,000 a year. And I have a $600 surplus every time I get paid. I don't understand where people are putting all of their money. It's not like the mortgage here is cheap, and I gotta pay HOA. So it's like, where are y'all? Where are your priorities lying? Are your priorities in a lavish looking lifestyle or lavishly living? Do you want to do both? Do you want to do neither? Do you want to have money or do you want to spend money? I mean, what are you trying to get out of this life? And you need to gear yourself towards getting that instead of worrying about what everybody else thinks about what your life has going on with it. It just doesn't make sense.
Too much to be happy. I just want to be able to live.
And the crazy part is that you don't see very many men
they just really need
speaking
to catch
about
a
how
break right
jacked
now.
up the money is
so
for them.
hard, and I feel like
Because
I'm not
we can live
doing
with less.
enough. I don't have family. I don't have anything to fall back on.
Polite savages,
You don't need anything to fall back on if you were willing to do stuff the right way.
And especially domestically in America, it doesn't matter what race you are, what politics you decide to take up and fight for. What it all comes down to is that the women are starting to experience financial struggle, where women of all kinds and shapes and colors and creeds are out here complaining on social media, coming to the realization they're not so strong and independent that they think. And that need no man attitude is starting to make them understand that yes, they're gonna need a man. And the craziest part about all of this is that they have been sold a lie. And no, I'm not talking about the wicked sinister sisterhood, spreading their lies about how a woman does not need a man, and that becoming a wife, cooking and cleaning is slavery. I'm not talking about that, but I'm talking about the biggest lie that's being sold of all. That the ladies out here must make a name for themselves, be the big boss. No matter the cost, as long as they got themselves a degree. That's useless the moment they have to put it out there on the open market and deal with the crushing reality.
Hi, my name is Kayla. I'm graduating from NYU Gallatin, and my concentration is economic inequality in the U.S. and Caribbean.
Period. Hey, my name is Nayeli. I'm from Gallatin, and my concentration is spiritual healing.
What?
Hi, my name is Elio, and I concentrated in Black storytelling.
What?
Hey, my name is Gabby. My concentration is called Exploring Colonialism and Sustainable Economic Development.
Period.
I'm Alexia, and my concentration is creativity as communication, how the arts act as a language outside of verbal communication. Period.
Okay, can we just talk about the fact that like college degrees mean like nothing nowadays? Because people.
Whoa. What are you gonna do with any of those degrees once you walk away from whatever the hell you just got that degree in? I mean, what are you gonna do with any of that? What are you gonna do with any of that? What kind of job are you gonna get with a concentration or a degree specialized in colonialism and how it affects modern day? How is that gonna help you get bread? How is creative communication going to help you get bread? I don't understand. I don't understand.
With like all these degrees and qualifications can't even find a job that pays them enough. I'm just sitting here like, if qualified people can't even find a job, what am I supposed to do? I was looking at possible internships to like build up my resume, and tell me why I'm better off working at McDonald's as a server getting paid $16 an hour than doing an internship that is for like my degree, like a college degree. Like that is so wild to me that you have to spend all this money to get a degree, to get a high paying job, but you don't even need the degree at this point. But you don't even pay people who have the degree a reasonable amount when they could just work a job that doesn't even require higher education, more money. And then people wonder why people don't want to work now. People don't want to go to college. People have this stigma of like, why aren't you going to college? Well, at this point, does it even pay? I'm going to be graduating with all this debt.
What job can they get and build a family off that? They don't even have jobs no more. Let me tell you something. The people who got a job at Walmart are ahead of the other now. I'm talking about the who used to be able to go pay $800, $900 a month for a Range Rover.
Right.
All that gone for the most part. Unless you're a lawyer who productive. And what is a lawyer? That's a crook.
AI replacing lawyers.
That's what, hey, what are you gonna do now?
ChatGPT, yeah.
And so what happens is that most of these ladies with their useless degrees, they're gonna end up selling out the fastest, quickest way possible, which is selling their bodies, jumping on them poles, clapping that ass, resorting to that fast life so they get that fast cash and tips, so they can maintain their standard of living and try to live that soft life, while doing the mental gymnastics. And why they are so deserving of a high-value man with their outrageous, clownish, and outlandish demands.
Period. And she said she was broke, y'all.
I'm still broke. My name is Lola Money, and I made $1,500. Tonight, I made $100 tonight.
She lying. She made a couple more.
You lose some, baby.
Period.
Whether they're dancing at clubs or stripping on OnlyFans, eventually the money dries out, where even the average man cannot use their discretionary income to be tricking off on these digital girls, or go and see their favorite dancers. Eventually, whether it's the queer modern woman or the woman that just became strong and independent with her useless degree, or even so-called influencers and 304 rappers and Ruby Rose, Saweetie, and Sukihana, they find themselves in a position where they have to start dropping their prices and their standards. Or else the man that's an above average earner will show that this woman costs no more than $200.
You're gonna have to sell your body because that's all you have for the most part. I'm talking about if you're an intelligent woman, you're a woman of resource, you'll find a way.
And if somehow it gets even worse, you're gonna start seeing them removing all of their dating standards, forcibly reverting back to traditional roles like cooking and cleaning and being submissive to the average earner.
You should pivot from OnlyFans to Patreon.
Pivot from OnlyFans?
Do you still
What
do
you mean
OnlyFans?
pivot? That means stop?
It means
Girl,
pivot.
you crazy.
Do you still do OnlyFans?
Yes, I do. I'm never gonna stop OnlyFans because I have 300,000 subscribers. A hardworking man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hardworking. Huh?
How much do they pay a month?
They pay a lot.
I'm asking how much each person pays.
A lot of money. I mean, I could take a lot of their salary.
Like a full naked one? You're fully nude?
No, not anymore. Cause I got a little class now, but I was doing a lot on her.
So, polite savages, you just gotta wait it out just a little bit longer. All these boss babes, these wannabe 304 influencers and rappers, IG model turned porta potties, are going to reform their ways and finally surrender their sign language tactics, classless bad habits, and their outrageous delusional standards.
Kind of nasty to me.
Look, house is clean. I'll be cleaning up after my kids, his kids, cooking every day, big meals. I'll be sucking the same every day. It's going good. You can do it, ladies. Y'all can turn into housewives if you want, and you want to live like that. You can do it.
You can't.
Anybody got any advice?
You can't.
That's all I got for you, you polite savages.
And if you
like
are,
and
then
subscribe, hit us
that
up
means
on
that
all
you're not.
social media networks.
They're doing it because they're trying to get that neck at you. Trying to get that neck up at you. Don't let them believe that they doing anything like that.
Just the greatest man. I'm nearly positive he's never been in a fight in his entire life. He's a very peaceful man. He told me faith guided my hands to protect myself. He needs to heal. He's hurt pretty bad. His son is getting married this weekend. I don't think he's going to be able to attend the wedding because of the injuries he has. But I do feel in the texts and back and forth we've had, he's going to come through this.
A little over a week ago, former NFL quarterback and current Fox Sports analyst Mark Sanchez attacked the 69-year-old truck driver, bro. So initially, the altercation was said to be over a parking spot. But the more information and footage that comes out, the more it starts to look like Sanchez was out there wandering around looking for a problem. According to reports in the police affidavit, Mark, who looks like he's intoxicated, confronted the old man, entered his truck, then physically assaulted the man. All of this was after Mark demanded that the man move his truck, simply because Mark said so. To be clear, the man is not on Mark's property. The event took place in Indianapolis where Mark was just a weekend visitor. So he really had no reason to be engaging with the man over where he could or couldn't park his truck. According to reports in the police affidavit, the old man's been working this same job. He was parked in the loading dock area to load up his truck when Mark Sanchez approached him and started this whole thing. Mark cornered the man and persistently pursued him. Dude even body slammed the old man multiple times, which at his age could have ended his life. Mark also left the man with a huge gash on his face, which went all the way through his cheek and punctured his tongue inside of his mouth. YouTube didn't like the last video I did on this, but if you haven't seen the images and you want to check them out, you can watch my first video or click the link in the description to go to my Substack where I have the full script of this video along with the pictures. But the old man was carrying protection and was actually able to fend Mark off. But by the time the altercation was over, both Mark and the man were hospitalized with injury. The old man, Perry told, has since filed a lawsuit claiming permanent disfigurement, while Mark Sanchez faces a level 5 felony battery charge. And if he's found guilty, that could result in up to 6 years in prison. And that's where we at. That's the short version of what I covered in the first video on this. And as I stated then, the police have reportedly seen tons of footage on this, as most of it was caught on surveillance camera. So we understood new footage would be slowly coming out, and today that's what I want to discuss. In this video, we'll go through the new footage that leaked, as it shows the odd and erratic behavior from Mark shortly before the attack took place. So let's go through it real quick, as this new footage adds new context to the situation as a whole. So the story was originally reported as if Sanchez was outside doing a late night impromptu workout, but watching the footage, which follows dude for like 20 minutes, you only see him run twice in the video. Right before the attack directly towards the old man, and right after the attack away from the old man. He wasn't out there for a workout. The footage shows that he'd been wandering around, seeming intoxicated, wearing regular clothes, pacing around erratically. We ain't talking about no stretching, no dynamic warm-up, just stumbling around back and forth aimlessly. He honestly looks like a guy who's searching for a problem, or maybe even searching for a solution to one, but not a guy trying to clear out space for a workout, as some of the early reports made it seem. 20 minutes before the attack. Shortly after midnight on October 5th, the old man pulls his truck into the alley, parks in the loading area to do his job per usual. He picks up the old cooking grease from the hotel he was parked at. At this point, everything is cool and normal, but the old man didn't realize that former NFL quarterback Mark Sanchez was out that night, seeming to be searching for a problem. And the old man didn't realize that Sanchez would turn him and his truck into that problem. So what started as a routine work stop was spiraled into a bizarre and violent encounter. In a matter of minutes, that quiet alley would become the scene of a violent attack. 13 minutes before the attack. 7 minutes after the truck pulls in, Sanchez is seen walking out of the alley. He stumbles a bit as he rounds the dumpster and continues to wander back to the main street. A woman passes just as he rounds the corner, but she's moving fast and avoids any contact with dude. He walks in the same direction for just a short moment, but 90 seconds later, he's walking back toward the alley. 9 minutes before the attack. Dude lingers for just a couple of seconds before continuing past the alley. What is going on in this man's head? He acts almost as if something in the alley is calling his name, but for now, he fights it as he continues walking up the street. 3 minutes before the attack. Just 6 minutes later, he's back at the alley, but he doesn't go into the alley just yet. Dude instead just leans up against the wall, still not sure what's going on in his head. What I really want to know is, where is this guy? Can we find out what this conversation was about and get this dude's thoughts on the state that Mark Sanchez is in? This could give us more insight into what's going on. The guy wisely keeps moving as he responds to whatever Sanchez is saying to him here. 1 minute before the attack, Mark takes off running into the alley. He's headed towards the old man and his truck. And check this out, bro. He pauses behind the dumpster as if he's deliberating with somebody, like he's receiving instructions or arguing with himself. Either way, he's clearly not in his right mind. Or maybe he thinks he's being covert, but he's so intoxicated that he doesn't realize how crazy he looks. But the dude's clearly tripping. Also, I'll point out that earlier in the footage, when he passed by this exact same dumpster, he almost looked like he had a brief interaction as he waves his hand as if waving somebody off. But the second time, he doesn't do that. This time he looks behind him for I think the first time on any of these tapes, as if to make sure nobody is there. It's like he knows he's about to do something evil. Then he runs into the alley towards the old man. And of course, that's when the confrontation ensues. 5 minutes after the attack. Just a few minutes after running deeper into the alley, Mark Sanchez comes running back out. When he rounds the corner this time, he begins slowly walking and holding his wound. The original footage we received. He ends up in the hospital in critical condition, as did the old man.
I don't know, maybe it's just me, man, but prime rib looks disgusting. Like, there's nothing about it that makes me be like,
Attacked. Zero empathy or accountability. We got statements from Mark, Mark's family, and his ex, who's relevant because she's also the mother of his son. And her statement is pretty interesting. Now, this shouldn't shock you, but I can't say the same about Mark's statement or the statement from his family. Now, these are boring, like they took a stock statement off the shelf. But bear with me because I want to point out something about them. So I want to read through them as they're written to present to you exactly what they said before I start giving my opinion on things. Here's what they had to say. Mark and our family are incredibly grateful for the concern, love, and support we've received. Mark remains under medical care for the serious injuries he sustained, and his focus is on his recovery as the legal process continues. We would like to extend our heartfelt thanks to the first responders and medical staff. So then a few days later, Mark was released from the hospital, and here's what he had to say. Right now, I'm just kind of focused on my recovery, and I just want to thank the first responders, the hospital, and the Marion County Sheriff, and the Indianapolis Police Department. But I'm focused on my recovery, and I just want to see my wife, and I want to see my son and my 2 baby girls. Okay, so both Mark and his family failed to mention the old man he attacked. There's gonna be legal proceedings, so sometimes people let their lawyers craft their statement. I understand that angle, but I'm not trying to hear it. Now I'm gonna wait before I go like hard for real. I like to have as many details as possible to be as fair as possible. But with that said, the complete lack of any accountability whatsoever, the complete lack of any empathy whatsoever, that speaks volumes. Now again, this is opinion, and you can't lock somebody up based on opinions or how I see a situation. But on this channel, I'll try to break down exactly what happened, but then I will give you my opinion. And here it is. Mark Sanchez ran straight toward that old man and completely started the whole altercation, and then ran away once he realized the man wasn't an easy mark. He was walking around searching for a problem. He decided to make the old man into a problem. Then he brutally attacked the man, body slammed him twice, ended up disfiguring his face and putting him in the hospital. He's 70 years old, bro. You could have taken his life. And then with a straight face, you give a media trained statement, not even wishing the old man a full recovery. At the same time, you're saying how you're focused on your recovery, but at the old man's age, he might never recover. Even if it turned out he was in the wrong, if I hurt an old man this badly, I would still feel remorse after the fact. Like maybe I could have just restrained him and not injured him so bad. It just happens the old man, his name is Perry Toll, he just happens to be a tough son of a gun who not only fought you off, but survived. And it's gonna be real interesting when we get his full testimony. Based on the info and all of the footage that we have, Mark Sanchez backed the old man into a corner. And now he's giving this statement as if he's the victim, giving thanks to the city and to the police department. It just seems like it's off the first page of the manipulation handbook. As I close out this section on my opinion, he appears to be trying to play the sympathy card, while at least currently taking no accountability for a situation that seems 100% his fault. If my opinion is correct, that's slimy behavior and is wild, but the mother of Mark's son says none of it shocks her in the least bit. Now I gave my opinion, but that don't mean that I won't be fair when trying to break this down. We all know how relationships can be. So when an ex says something negative, you should take it with a grain of salt. If, and that's if, this is the only evidence you have. But once it's supported by other evidence, all of a sudden it becomes extremely credible. I don't know the ins and outs of their relationship, but it's clear that they haven't been on good terms for a long time. All that said, her statement is the most interesting and perhaps gives some insight into Mark's true character. I'm aware of the serious criminal charges currently facing my son's father. My foremost priority has always been and remains our 8-year-old son, Daniel. I chose to remain silent publicly to protect Daniel. Now that things are out in the open, my focus hasn't changed. I've always been concerned for his safety and for what he is exposed to. Sadly, none of this is surprising to me. Based on the way she's speaking here, the obvious takeaway is that she's seen this side of Mark before. I can't prove whether or not she's being honest about this, but based on the evidence, there's no reason to doubt what she's saying. Now, we live in the real world, and sometimes women throw dirt on an ex out of spite or in an attempt to receive compensation. You know, these type of things happen all the time. But the same way statements like believe all women are stupid and obviously completely unreasonable, it's equally as stupid to believe all men or believe no women. Even if you've never said those statements out loud, it's easy to catch yourself slipping into those philosophies. And this just seems like an opportune time to point out to you that these are just mirror images of the same stupid thing. I know what I just said is the most basic statement of all time, but in 2025 it might be controversial. But she's attempting to co-parent a child with this dude, so of course she has insights about his character that none of us do. And when her insights line up with behaviors we can visibly see, that makes her a credible source when it comes to this topic. This type of stuff doesn't usually come out of the blue, and it stands out to me how Mark and his family were so very casual in their statements, as if they've rehearsed this type of thing hundreds hundreds of times. This is just an opinion, but based on real life experience, plus experience in covering these type of stories throughout the course of many years. This has a ton of the markings of a narcissistic guy with a pattern of violence and the subsequent damage control to protect the public image. I'm not saying that's what it is because I don't know, but I am saying that's what it looks like. A call to action. Jesus said straight up that in this world we will have trouble. And I'd imagine that your life experience has shown you that. We all have trouble. We also have free will to deal with these troubles in whatever manner we choose to. But I want to invite you to learn how to deal with your issues through building a relationship with God. Trying to ignore or drink all your issues away just ultimately leads to hurting yourself and hurting other people. In particular, the people closest to you. And if you a man, it's worse because you hurt the ones you was actually called to protect. So if you cool, then cool. But if you struggling and you can't fix it for yourself, I submit that maybe you should try following God. And I ain't talking about I went to church as a kid. I'm talking about as a grown man and trying to walk in that. Completely different experience. I invite you to try it. If you're not ready, cool, do it your way for now. So if you ever feel like you can't overcome it on your own, maybe it's time to team up with God. Pray for the old man Perry Toll and Mark as well as we wait to see what other twists and turns this story takes. And if you want to see the details of the altercation, I'm talking beat by beat, moment by moment, just click the video on the screen and check that out. Peace.
Okay.
Brian McKnight beats his baby mama terrorist in court allegedly. We'll give you the rundown on this story. This story is something that I covered not that long ago, and there were several videos that I covered on this one. Just to give you the update on this situation right here. Brian McKnight is an R&B singer, white people. All right, so for the white...
Hold up. 1 second. We can do a BRB real quick so I can restart this restart the scene, man, because this is it ain't act right. Hold up, y'all. We'll be right back. Gotta close this whole window out because this shit tripping. Male doing some weird shit. It's not. Hold up. It's mailed. Mailed is was messing up over here, man. It's got all this weird random clicking happening. Okay. Hey, what the hell going on now? Come on.
McKnight. Brian McKnight is an R&B singer. He's had some hit songs, mainly.
Yeah, it's mailed tripping. I don't think I can shut it down, and yeah, it's gonna cut the stream.
In the probably the
We're gonna just have to fight
2000s
through it
and so forth.
We're only gonna do a couple more videos. We're only gonna do titled
like a lot of
videos
these
today.
singers, they
Then.
become famous
No
and they
extra
have to sing
videos.
these songs that they made that were famous for the next 50 years. All right, it sucks.
It's
to
the
them.
last
Nobody
video
cares about
then,
their new
man. So I can
catalog.
do the whole.
And
I can
he's
do
been
a full
doing a
reboot.
lot of shows ever since then. Unfortunately, he's ruined his reputation. Got ruined because he had a black wife at one particular point, and the relationship soured. And she got primarily custody of the kids. And she was able to demonstrate that Brian McKnight is a deadbeat. He cheats on his wife. And he sleeps with white women and Asian women and so forth and so on. Right? And he does. I actually played basketball against Brian McKnight some 20 years ago. And, you know, he had an Asian woman sitting on the sideline being his cheerleader. All right. So he ended up marrying a Hawaiian Asian woman, I believe. So it's kind of par for the course. Since he fell out with the wife has been saying that he's a deadbeat. And even then to the point where his kids kind of fell in line with the mother, which typically is something that we see happen with parental alienation. All right. So the kids, the boys side with the mom. Brian McKnight feels isolated. He says, what the hell? And then he starts a new family, which is the masculine power. Right? Our power in masculinity is to be able to spread our seed and have as many kids as we possibly can. Society tells us otherwise. Right? Monogamy, be faithful, have one kid. If your wife only wants to have one kid, you only have one kid, right? They strip that away. The child support system is a way for them to control that, right? By saying you can't have children by multiple women. You can't be fruitful and multiply. They have you under the faithful monogamy, and then the system is, hey, if you start a relationship with this woman and have kids, you got to take care of those kids before you start having kids with other women. Otherwise, we penalize you. So financially, one of the things that we do is say, hey, I had kids with this woman and then it didn't work out. Now I'm paying child support. I can't afford to have kids with another woman. It becomes a barrier. And that's what child support does. Right. For right and for wrong, right? It's right. You should take care of your kids. You can't run away from them. But also it becomes ill-advised financially to have kids with other women. So it prevents you from doing that. If you're rich, you can overcome that. Elon Musk, Nick Cannon, Brian McKnight. So what he did was, I'm going to start a new family. All right. This first family didn't work. We had 2 or 3 sons. This didn't work. All right. I don't have relationships with these kids. So he's not just going to sit at home. He said, I want to have new kids, but he did it with a non-black woman. At that point, he has been ostracized from the black community, and thus his name is dirt. Because all they have to say is you're a deadbeat. And that's essentially what happened when the sons got older. Okay. So when the sons got older, they basically came out and they said, oh, let me just show you this. Let me show you this as I'm explaining the story, because this is important. This is the new wife, baby mama. And as you can see, she's a little Hawaiian Asian looking woman. And she had kids from a previous man, which, you know, if you're in your 40s and 50s, more than likely, if you're going to get remarried, you're not going to get married to a teenager or a woman in her 20s. It's going to be a woman similar age, and she's more than likely going to have kids. So not only is he a stepfather, he's also a father with this new woman. Okay, so there's a lot to unpack here as I get to the main event subject matter. So since she's non-black, that's more ammunition for the black community to turn against him. Okay, to turn against him. Why are you not taking care of your black boys? Then when the boys got older, what they then said was, we just want a relationship with our father, Brian McKnight, who's a singer, but he doesn't want to have a relationship with us. Okay, so they were able to play the victim and say he hasn't been around for X amount of years. I think he also has a daughter that he got into a legal battle with. So his whole family with this woman has been completely torched. And he's been saying, I've been alienated against him. It's the baby mom. Now, the baby mom is throwing rocks and hiding hands. She's playing the, hey, I've just been a good woman and he ain't shit. And everybody believes it, right? Everybody can believe that. And of course, then when they see them he has a child by another woman, it's believable. Then it gets worse. It gets worse because the boys want a relationship with him. He doesn't want a relationship with them. He actually disowns them publicly. He basically says, I don't want anything to do with them. All right. This comes from trauma. They're all traumatized in this situation. And Brian McKnight's like, I got a new family. I'm going to move on. Then what happens is one of the boys' name is Brian McKnight Jr. He has a baby with this Asian Hawaiian woman taking care of the stepkids, names the second kid, or names the kid with the Asian woman, Brian Jr. So, yes, he's disowned the boys from the black family. They're now grown. They want a relationship with dad. He said, fuck that shit. Has another child with another woman, names that kid Brian Jr. All right, so there's 2 Brian Jr.'s. I mean, that is a slap in the face. Okay.
I mean,
now I don't think they have the same last name. It could be possible that they have a different name, but he now names the other kid Brian Jr. Now, like, god damn. So that is essentially saying the previous family does not exist. All right, I've disowned them. I haven't a relationship with them. They made it hard for me. I pay my child support. The black community is shitting on this. They're poo-pooing on this. They don't want nothing to do with this. Brian McKnight Sr. name is dirt at this particular point. His name is dog doo-doo. So black women are up in arms. He cannot sell any tickets to concerts and so forth and so on. To further complicate things, one of the sons develops cancer. The son's name is Nico. He dies recently. Brian McKnight does not even, that doesn't sway him. Brian McKnight saying, it is what it is, nigga. Whatever. All right, you're not my son. I disowned you. Die slow. This is a heartless point of view, to which then the baby mother, the original baby mother, says he didn't even show up when Nico was dying. All right, so this is where it gets worse for Brian McKnight. This is worst case scenario. Not only are you disowning them and not raising these black boys, the black boys want you to be their dad. He said, fuck them kids. And now Nico's, and he names the other kid Brian Jr., and now Nico is dying of cancer and he doesn't come in to help. Now, here's the problem with this, and this has been going on for years. So it culminated with the death of Nico. All right, he was in the hospital. Brian McKnight allegedly never visits Nico. As you can see, this is very, very, very heartless and, dare I say, ruthless way to deal with this. Very ruthless. All right, and so as you can tell, judging from this article that was written a year ago, he got canceled for this. He got canceled for this, all right? So much so that it affected his bottom line. He had to cancel concerts due to this family controversy. Now, since we know about the court of public opinion, and we tell you guys all the time, when it comes to these stories, we don't hear the entire story, okay? Most of the time, it's the woman throwing rocks and hiding hands, all right? Sometimes the kids don't even understand the story. They don't have the entire details. We know that there's emotions involved and there's legalities involved. And then when the man tries to speak up, he just gets poo-pooed, all right? Nah. They're just going to say, just take care of your kids. Do the right thing. Be the bigger man, right? And so Brian McKnight says, I am not going to be the bigger man. Fuck that, bruh. And he does look like CGA right there. Come on. Why everybody trying to look like CGA? All right, shout out to Brian McKnight right here with the baldy and the gray beard. New world order. So here's the thing. It says fans of R&B singer Brian McKnight are boycotting his concerts following his controversial remarks about his oldest biological child or children, who he has publicly disowned. McKnight, known for his hits in the 90s and the early 2000s, now prioritizes a new family, which involves or includes his current new wife and their children and her eldest children from a previous relationship. Now, they're also not saying in here that it's a non-black woman. That's important. Okay,
that's
important.
That's the biggest problem they have.
Conversation. It's a non-black woman. All right,
They don't have a problem with Brian McKnight. They have a problem with him doing all of this with a non-black.
By nationality,
that's the biggest
state,
issue,
if you will.
if you ask me.
The Money Mindset 2025.
What the hell?
Join us if you are looking to elevate your mindset to the next level and get your financial information and game back.
She's Leilani McKnight. All right, but I don't see. I guess he legally changed his name to Brian, this Hawaiian name in the middle, McKnight Sr. So maybe he took her last name and combined it. All right. But the original son was Brian McKnight Jr. Okay. So you see that. So there is, Pacific Islander. I don't know what her background is. All right. I can't really tell. Oh, she Filipina? Man, shout out to the Filipinas, man. Filipinas taking over the world here. Shout out to the Filipinas. Where we at here?
What kind of fuck you give me?
I shut the fuck up.
Okay. So now that we got that, the nuance, let's talk about this. Brian McKnight allegedly was having a silent battle, okay, which we didn't know about, but nor did people care about. The silent battle is he possibly might have had her in litigation the entire time because his bottom line was greatly being affected. Okay, so they're canceling concerts because of this. All right, she's throwing rocks and hiding hands. His reputation's being dragged. He's getting canceled. His money getting short. And guess what? He's like, somebody got to pay for this. Now, he didn't come out and tell everybody, I'm going to sue you. You're going to hear from my lawyer. But what we now know as of yesterday, Brian McKnight saying, I've been awarded $8.8 million in damages plus punitive damages following a verdict. Now, we don't know what the verdict is, but he's insinuating that he has been wronged and the court has agreed with him that the ex-wife, in fact, was the bad guy and he has been awarded these damages. Let me read the context here, and we know he ain't gonna see a dime of this, but the world is silent about it, and I cannot be silent about it because these are the type of things that men do, and it takes 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 years for us to see any retribution, right? Your kids come back and they're 30 and they finally say, damn, my mom was tripping. And then you're like, okay, now you got to fix the damage, and now you got to take care of this kid that's 25 and 30 and 35 and 40. But just because you're awarded damages doesn't mean you're going to get them. But this is vindication for Brian McKnight.
Mm-hmm.
In my situation, I got the same thing where, I fought for a battle of my custody of my son late. They were trying to paint me as a deadbeat and a non-contributor to child support and all of these things, only for me at the last year when my son was 17 to get a printed record. They did an investigation on the family to discuss and basically say, hey, the son wants to be a part of the dad's life. The dad wants to be a part of the son's life. He's not a deadbeat. All right. It's the mom keeping the son away from the dad. That's the vindication. You don't need the money. You're not going to get the money. We know when you sue a woman, you're not getting the money. But what he wants to do and what the world is going to be silent about, except for me, is to demonstrate. This is what happens to men. We have to play the long game to get our retribution. And unfortunately, the relationship between the sons had been fractured. He had to see his son die and not be a part of it. Okay. He had to start a new family. And now he's going to expose the mother. Let me just go ahead and show you. For men thinking it's about the money, you're wrong. It's not about the money. It's not about him getting the money. It's about him now being able to say, that bitch been lying. And sometimes as men, the world don't want to hear us during the process. They just say, just be a man. Just be there for your kids. Take care of your responsibilities. Don't be a deadbeat. But at the end of the day, it wasn't you the entire time. Let me play this. This is Brian McKnight here, smoking a cigar. And this is what he has to say.
It's been a long journey getting to this day, October 16th, 2025. But we are here in the English countryside, about an hour and a half outside of London. And the verdict is in. We've been quiet, listening to liars continue to lie and keeping to ourselves, living and loving our life, as we said, leaving everything in God's hands and letting our lawyer do the talking. But according to the courts, trying to ruin my name and trying to bring harm to my family in a book filled with lies equals $8.8 million. And this is just the beginning, because anyone and everyone that helped promote these lies will hear from my lawyer in the days to come. No weapon formed against us shall prosper. That from my voicemail is the voice of a liar.
All right. So there must have been a book. All right. I don't know who wrote the book. I don't know if it was the ex-wife writing the book or somebody writing on the behalf of the ex-wife. All right. So forth and so on. All right. And if he was named in the book, which I've been very, very conscious of doing this, because you'd be like, CGA, you talk about your ex-wife. I've never named her by name. I've never showed you a picture. Okay. The person doesn't exist as far as you're concerned. She's just the next wife. And I've been conscious of this because a lot of you guys been like, why he never show a picture of her? Bro, I'm talking about her I'm talking about her in a certain way. You don't show a picture, video, and name this person. Okay, you don't do this. All right? Not trying to hide her. You just don't do stuff like this. All right, unless they are on video doing something criminal, then you can put them up there. But if you're just telling stories about an individual and you name them and you put their picture up, okay, you can have yourself liable. In this situation, yeah, she's a fictional character as far as we're concerned to tell the story. So here you go right here. Let's listen to the voicemail of what the person that we know is supposed to be the deadbeat here tells the world.
Do not text Nico again. Do not call Nico again. Leilani, if you are also checking these messages, that goes for you as well. I am very serious about this. I am very serious about this. Do not text him, period. Period. Please understand that. And Brian, you know me. You know me. And you know that I mean what I'm saying to you.
Let me stop right here. Let me stop right here. When I say that men deal with this all the time, but then when they call you a deadbeat and be the better man, and if your kids want a relationship with you, you just got to go in and let bygones be bygones. That's not always the best strategy, all right? Because they're committing what I think is a crime against humanity against you, all right, by violating your relationship with your kids, putting them not in the best situation. And your kids sometimes co-sign with it. Your kids don't come back for the right reason. They come back because they're broke. They come back because the mom don't have no more child support money. But if you hear her message, and I do have a video of her where she's sitting up here, I was good and he was a deadbeat, right? She was up there playing the angel. But listen to the voicemail. Right, McKnight said, bro, and he didn't play this voicemail before the lawsuit was settled. He let everybody call him a deadbeat, but he said, I got the truth here. I'll show you how evil this woman is and how she been saying, stay away from my son. Even when the son wanted a relationship, I believe this is when he was with the new wife. That could have been around the time where Nico was sick. She names Nico by name, not the Brian, it's Nico. So this could have been around the time he was sick and the mother saying, stay away. Do not text, do not call. Even targeting Leilani, who's the new non-black wife, you don't call either if you're listening. So when Brian's saying, hey, I tried, I've been trying, but guess what? They're putting up these barriers. You guys know when your kid comes back, the mother also comes back too. You guys realize that too. Especially then when you're dealing with a lawsuit, hospital, graduation, college. When your kid says, I want to be back, I want to hang out with you, guess who you also get back? The mother, the baby mama terrorist being there. And sometimes the kid is being used as a pawn so the baby mama terrorist can get in there and get information about you and fuck you over. So he knows that. But he just had to stay silent and be like, I guess I'm a deadbeat. I'm going to be the asshole. But he got his vindication on this situation here.
All right.
He got his vindication. He was like, yep. All right, nah. All right, the ex-wife trying to get back in. Well, you know, we could have been a wonderful family after all these years. Nah, get away. Remember when Deion Sanders walked away? Let me pull that up. All right, that's funny here. Deion Sanders and Pilar. Pilar senior night. Let's see if we can pull this up.
Senior night.
Let's see if we can get the video. Because Deion Sanders knew. Here we go right here. We do have the video right here. Deion Sanders like, nah, stay the fuck away. But Deion Sanders was able to get custody from his wife when they were minors. All right, here we go. So this is it, right? Senior night, and there's the mom walking up. Let's see what Deion does. Mom's walking up facing the boys. This is the handoff. Let's see what Deion Sanders does here. Out of there. Quickly. I thought he had turf toe. That's why the nigga had to get his toe chopped off right here. All right, how fast he done dipped out of there. Here come that crazy bitch. All right. So Deion Sanders said, nah, bro. All right, that's evil coming this way. All right, that's evil. Not even through my sons will I let evil come my way. All right, but let me see if I can find that video of Brian McKnight's ex-wife speaking here so you can see how messed up the game is. Speaks. See if we can find that video. Yeah, she has a book. So she wrote a book in 2025 and he promptly sued her ass. All right. So yeah, he wasn't playing. We do have a video of oh, this is on Tasha K, so I can't play that. Yeah, the ex-wife here. Let's see here.
Yeah,
okay, so
better go.
This is her right here.
Too much further than this.
Ex-wife coming up on the screen right here. Let's see right here. Julia McKnight discusses communicating with ex-Brian during son's illness.
Did receive out of the blue a text from him about a year ago when our son Nico was, going through his healing process. So I did get a very, very, very negative text from him during that process. And I'm glad you asked that, because then I can address, he made a comment where he hasn't contacted our son because I left a very, he didn't say harsh, very aggressive voicemail.
You see how she covering it up? Yeah, he left an aggressive. He said I left an aggressive voicemail. You heard the voicemail. We all heard it. And it was a very aggressive. Okay, it was that. She said, "You know how I am." That's a threat. So now she's trying to tap dance and throw flowers and shit on it. Oh, he said that I left the. What did he say? Aggressive, very demanding. All right, yeah, bitch, you was very bitchy in the voicemail. It was without a doubt.
And in a way, I will say that is true. Because once the text was received, I did make it very, very, very clear that this type of negativity is not what's going to be allowed in this space. And
okay, he was negative, huh?
If this type of negativity is what you're bringing, do not bring it here.
Now, this is why I can't say, man, like I would say, dude, like if you're dating, let's say this woman's dating. Okay, let's say she's dating. If she's dating, she can never be comfortable with you as the boyfriend. She's too busy trying to sabotage the ex-husband, right? She hasn't even healed from that particular trauma. So she's going to bring that trauma. You're going to inherit that baggage from her, which is going to complicate your relationship. All right, so you see what she's doing here. But you heard the voicemail, all right? The voicemail tells it all. And not only that, we got the lawsuit, punitive damages from an alleged book that was written by this woman, all right? Really got her real quick. All right, shut that shit down.
Gotcha, bitch.
Shut that shit down. So it is very tough. Unfortunately, this is a tough situation, and these ain't my kids, but I got kids that are in similar situations. It's not easy, and it's not easy to just be the bigger man. It's not easy, all right, because there's a lot of toxicity happening in the background. Most of the time, the pot's being stirred, and all you're trying to having is a relationship with your kids, but you're signing up for this trauma. I believe there's a viral video of Christopher Smith talking about this as well, of him disowning his own daughter. And Christopher Smith is a legend in this space. He doesn't have a lot of subscribers. He used to go by the League of Dads. But I seen there's a viral clip of him saying, I had to wash my hands of my daughter. He calls his daughter his former daughter. Okay. And this has been documented for many, many years. He's been talking about this. But hey, sometimes you got to just be like, it's not worth it. It's not worth the stress, the trauma. I want to live until I'm 85 and 90. I'm not going to let this woman, you got to think, Brian McKnight and this ex-wife is 50, right there in their 50s. When I tell you the free agent lifestyle is the recipe, why is Brian McKnight, why are you fighting over kids that are grown in your 50s? Right? Like, you don't want these things. People want to move on with life. This woman has not moved on with her life. Okay, you can tell. And I'm gonna say this one more time. When you have marriage, divorce, or kids with a woman, this is payment. You know why? You can never divorce this woman, I don't care what you do in the laws, in the courts, do never divorce them. You could divorce them on paper, but there's never a divorce, meaning that you're going to see your kids through your ex high school graduation, driver's license, first car, first relationship, first marriage, their first kid, in sickness, right? Your kids get sick. In this case, nobody anticipated Nico's health to fall to the point where he dies and traumatize them even further. But now your kid's sick and now they need treatment and care and recovery and hospice. There's no divorce. I don't believe there's divorce, okay, when there's kids. So, guys got to take these things really not lightly. They're really heavy. This is why the free agent lifestyle was a big deal for me, because I could say, hey, at some particular point, I will be truly free. All right. Especially then if I can look at my ex and whoever kid don't want to be a part of my life and say, okay, fine. All right, come see me if you're sick or you need. All right, but until then, catch up with me. All right, there ain't no reason for me to stress my motherfucking self out because the kids took on the mantle of the mom. And that way the mom continue instigate in my life forever. Okay, you're not going to instigate in my life forever, just like this woman right here. Like, they're in their mid-50s still fucking around and trying to get revenge on each other and suing each other. I promised myself as a free agent I will never engage in that. Right? It is what it is, motherfucker. My life goes on. So, because these women tend to, when they get older, not able to move on. All right. And then, when you have kids with them, they continue to then be vindictive towards you, even when the kids are adults. All right. And they'll use the kids to continue to get that one up on you.
That's crazy. I mean, it ain't really crazy because I already knew that hey man, he been fighting with that baby mama for the longest. My nose is burning. I need to close out Meld and restart it. I'm not finna do no end stream and then come back. I'm just gonna be honest with you, man. It's SOL. We're gonna pick up the rest of the stream tomorrow morning. We're gonna add some new stuff in there, obviously, man. But we got through the title cards. Yeah, we got too many issues going. It's a lot of glitches going on. I can't really hear myself. The volume of the videos was going up and down. There's a lot of clicking and clipping happening. I saw my camera freezing up a couple times. I had a power surge like right before I started the stream, so maybe that's what's going on too. I don't really know, but yeah, we ain't gonna stress out about it too much, man. We're just gonna, cut it off early, reboot, regroup. I'm going to do the rest of my morning routine and hope for the best tomorrow. You know what I mean? If anybody did join me today, man, shout outs to Liam, South Africa, man. We're gonna do some rugby reactions in a few days, probably. Yeah. It is what it is, man. Y'all be easy, y'all be blessed, man. Praise to the Most High. And if you make some money when I'm not around, just make sure you bring that receipt so we know you balling. All right. Peace.